Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Well, let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Stephen Carroll and I'm joined by Bloomberg's Chloe Mele for more. Chloe, good morning. Let's start in the UK with Greggs, an activist investor urging the food chain to cut costs. What's the latest?
Yeah, so the activist investor said that Greggs could be taken over if it doesn't cut a minimum of £20 million of annual costs. So Greggs' share price is down about 40% this year. It's also London's most shorted stock. So it's clearly under quite a lot of pressure. And the hedge fund Laura Asset Management, which is a big shareholder in Greggs, said that Greggs' management was timid and that it should be a lot more aggressive in trying to right-size its costs. So it's a company that's struggling with rising prices for its raw ingredients and minimum wage increases as well. But David Mercurio, who heads up that hedge fund, said that the expected cost growth next year of about 8% was far too high if we consider the context that the UK minimum wages will be increasing by about 4% in 2026. So he said that there are efficiencies that Greggs could find, but that he has so far kind of ignored. And so it said that if it doesn't kind of sort those things out, private equity in particular could be circling. So there's quite a lot of pressure there, but the shares have been up this morning as all of those discussions are going on.
Okay, so that's in Greggs. Turning to Italy next, shares in Monte Paschi di Siena falling for the third consecutive day. Investors digesting an investigation into its takeover of Italian rival Mediobanca.
Yeah, we are seeing that weakness continue as we get a little bit more details on that probe. So documents from prosecutors allege that the CEO of Monte Paschi and two big Italian investors had coordinated actions to seize control of Mediobanca, with the ultimate goal being to control Generali, which is Italy's biggest insurer. And so a key step in that plan was the purchase last year of a Monte Paschi stake by the Italian government. And that is part of a process that prosecutors have described as orchestrated and lacking in transparency. And so this probe into this alleged market manipulation is risking delaying the integration of Mediobanca and Monte Paschi, which is already a process that's facing quite a lot of challenges because the business models are already so different. So this is just an additional obstacle there. And analysts have said that the merger was already at an elevated risk of failing even before the investigation. And now this is making it a lot more worse. So we're just kind of wait now for more details on this as it comes.
Okay, yeah, and shares in the bank down 2.8% at the moment. Turning to Airbus next, and an update from the planemaker this morning after that software glitch.
Yes, there's been quite a lot of weakness in the shares this morning after this disruption over the weekend. So the software update for A320 aircraft required an urgent fix because it left flight controls vulnerable to cosmic radiations. And so that meant that airlines had to rush this weekend to fix this to avoid grounding during what was obviously a very busy Thanksgiving period. And most airlines actually managed to fix things fairly quickly. And Airbus said this morning that the vast majority of aircraft had received that necessary modification over the weekend, that there were very few now that were left to fix. But it's still quite a setback, and that created some delays and also raised questions about whether that software update was rolled out without the appropriate safeguards. And Airbus has been benefiting from a reputation of safety, especially in contrast with Boeing and its well-documented issues. So that weakness in those shares this morning is not surprising given the widespread issues that came from this software update.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.